Okay, welcome everyone to today's tutorial. So today I'll be making a luxury box that holds a tie, a cufflink, and tie, cufflink, all those the sets anyway. Okay, so I'll be starting with a straw board. This is the base that measures 6 inches by 5.5. This is 6 inches by 5.5. Okay, this is the base. Now the next thing I need the sides. Okay, so I've already cut out one side that measures 1 inch, 1 and 1/8 of an inch. That's the depth for this, 1 and 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'll glue it to the side like so, and then I'm going to cut out another piece like this to for this side. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then I'll get back to you. All right, so these are the two pieces. Okay, 1 and 1/8 by 5.5 inches, two pieces for the two opposite sides like so. Okay, so now I am going to glue this together using my PVC glue. Why do I keep calling this PVC? My Uhu liquid glue rather. Okay, so now I'm going to start with this side. Okay, I will apply my glue and I'll do just one side on camera, and I'll do the second side off camera to save time. You can see how I'm applying the glue. Okay, like that, and then just like this on it, making sure that it is straight, or you can lie it down and then hold it against it. But my fear is the glue may hold on to the mat. Yeah, it's trying to hold on to the mat already, so that's why I don't want to lie it down. But here is smooth, it's straight. Okay, you just keep working it till it's dry. Just hold it down like so till it's dried. Okay, well, it has a good hold already. Yeah, so now I'll repeat the same thing on this second side, so I'll do that off camera and I'll get back to you at that point. Alright, so now these are the two opposite sides glued already. Okay, so now next thing I'm going to do is to take the measurements, the full length, not this length anymore. Now remember, this length is 6 inches and here is 5.5. Okay, now this is no longer 6 inches because I've added these two pieces of straw board to the side. Now I need to get the full measurement. So by doing so, I will bring my metal ruler, line it up. Now I have approximately 6 and 2/8, but it's not to 6 and 2/8 of an inch. It is 6 and 3/16 of an inch. Okay, 6 and 3/16 of an inch. So that's going to be the length, and then I'll also get, it's going to be 1 and 1/8 by 6 and 3/16, two pieces for both sides. Okay, let's measure the other side so you say it's the same measurements, 6 and 3/16. Okay, so I will cut the two pieces off camera and then I will show you the first part and I'll do the second part off camera, so I'll get back to you at that point. Alright, so I have glued the excuse me, I've glued the first part. Okay, so now next time I'm going to show you how I glued this. Okay, so what I did is to bring my liquid glue, the UHU gum, and apply on the sides like so. and then the third side. All I did is just to clean the excess and then close it back to keep it from drying up. Okay, and then bring this and just light on top of that glue, making sure it's properly lined like so, and then use your hand to guide to check to be sure that it's well balanced. That's just all I'm doing, just making sure that it's well balanced on all sides. Making sure it's well balanced and it's well aligned. Then I can hold down for about 10 seconds to allow it to dry. Not really dry completely, at least to have a good hold, because the truth is they are not all, even the two sides I did first, they are not properly dried yet, but they have a good hold already. So okay, now I can just check around to be sure that it's properly aligned. Okay, yes it is. So now this is the base of our box. So next thing that I'm going to do is to, please know your measurement. This looks like a square, but it's not square. This is the 5.5 inch side, and this is the 6 inch side. Okay, but now it's no longer 6 inches, it has now increased, but the inside measurements, okay, the inside measurement is still intact. Okay, so now next thing I'm going to do is to cover the box. Okay, now to cover it, I will measure 1 inch into this side. 1 inch plus the full measurement of this. You can see the way I turned the box. Okay, 1 inch plus the full measurements. Here we have 5 and approximately, this is actually 5 and I have to count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, 5 and 11/16. okay, 5 and 11/16. So plus 1 inch, that will give us 6 and 11/16. But all that mathematics is kind of so much. I will just round it up to 5 and 6/8. okay, so 5 and 6/8 plus 1 inch give us 6 and 6/8. Now turn it again to the second side. Remember we have 5 and 6/8 plus 1 inch, that's 6 and 6/8, plus 6 and approximately 2/8. okay, so all I'm going to do is just to add up all the measurements of all the 4 sides. 1 2 3 4. Add all the measurements together and then add 1 inch to it. Okay, so and after doing that, whatever measurement I get, I'll write it down, and then here also I will also make another 1 inch. okay, and this is 1 and 1/8 of an inch. okay, that's 1 inch plus 1 and 1/8, that's 2 and 1/8, and here it's about 1/8, that's 2 and 2/8. Then the inside, sorry, I did it like this, right? Then the inside is 1 and 1/8 of an inch. It's not really up to 1 and 1/8, it's about 1 inches. okay, so 1 inches, and then I will, so that's 1 inch plus, let's just round it up, let's just approximate it. 1 inch plus 1 inch plus 1 inch, that's 3 inches. okay, and then plus another 1 inch that will go in, that's 4 inches. So now whatever size I get from this side, remember the first one, okay, I'll write it down, and then plus 4 and then 4 inches. So I'm going to cut out, let's say this, let me write out 5 plus 5 10 plus 12, that's 24. Let me say approximately 25, but definitely it's going to be about 25 and 6/8 inches thereabouts. okay, So that, let's say 26 inches for the round, for the one that will go round, okay, by 4 inches. So I'll cut that strip out and I'll get back to you at that point. Alright, so now this is the cardstock I'll be using. Okay, I don't know if you can see the designs. Okay, alright, so this is the inside and this is the outside part. Okay, so now let's work on the inside part. Now this is the 4 inches. Okay, 4 inches, the width. Okay, it's 4 inches wide. Okay, and then the length is 25 inches, as I said. So now next thing I'm going to do is to bring my scoreboard and then score at 1 inch on this side. Okay, and then turn it this way and also score at 1 inch all the way down. All the way 1 inch. Okay, so now I'm going to set my scoreboard aside and then bring in my double-sided tape. It's a new one that I'm bringing. Okay, so alright, so now what I'm going to do is to apply my double-sided tape all the way to cover this, except for except for the 1 inch that we scored. So lining it up to that score line. Okay, all the way down. Yeah, so bring my scissors and then trim the tape off. Okay, and then I'll repeat that same. I'll have to cover this top part as well. You need everywhere to be fully covered. So but be careful, don't let the excess tape touch your work surface so it doesn't pick up the dirt on your work surface. Just be careful with it. Okay, and turn and trim that off. All right, so next thing is to trim off this tape here. I'm actually trying to show you what I'm doing so you be able to know how to trim off your own when you are trimming, doing your own trimming. Okay, and whichever way works for you is good. Oops. Okay, this fell over, so just thank God it's a glossy cardstock, so it's easy to pull out. Okay, so now this is the excess tape. What I'll do next is to glue it here. So it's going to be the same size, okay, towards the edge, not inside. We need the edges to be well glued and holding very well. You can see. So now I'll bring my, set this aside as well. I'll bring my stylus and then crease properly. Okay, so now I also need to apply double-sided tape on this this full 1 inch, except this small box here, okay, just on this part. So I'll bring my 1 inch double-sided tape that I've already cut down, I mean half an inch rather. Apply like so towards the edge, and then trim that excess off, and also the inside parts. All right. Okay. This, and now we are ready to use this to cover our straw board. Okay. So now the first thing I would do is to line it up how I want it to be. Okay. I want it lined up like so. I hope you can see on where the score line is. Okay, like so. Just line it up, and then I'll peel this backing tape, but not completely off, but to the depth of the box, which is about 1 inch, like that, and then trim this off, because I don't want this other part to be exposed. We're not ready to use that just yet. So I would line this up again, holding it down, then raise this to the box. That's what I did, like that. So now you can drop it, bring your metal ruler and your paper cutter, and cut from there. Okay, turn, line your ruler up, and then cut completely off. We don't need this 1 inch, we don't need it. That's why you don't apply double-sided tape. Okay, and then turn again, bring my ruler to the side, and then trim like so. Put the ruler inside the box, okay, to the back, lining it up properly. Okay, and then at about 1/8 of an inch away from the straw board on this side, that's where I'm going to cut, at about 1/8 of an inch away, like so. Then cut down. Please be careful of your fingers when you're cutting. Okay, then from this end point here, so where this 1/8 of an inch cutting started, I will have a diagonal cut like so to remove this. I don't know if you can see the shape. You can see the shape, right? Like diagonal. Okay, all right. So now I can now peel this remaining backing tape off, and then fold this over like so, and then inside, carefully pushing it in properly. Okay, and then lie it down. You can use your bone folder to crease it properly, and then also here as well. Okay, so now there, sorry, I had to turn it so you can see we have that already. So now the next thing we're going to do is to peel this off a little, or leave it first. You fold it to lie it down, making sure it is straight. Okay, At that point, then you bring your biro or something and just mark, just to know where to peel the backing tape to. Okay, this is the mark we made here, so just put slightly off, like about 1/8 of an inch away from that mark, and then cut, so we don't expose all the double-sided tape because of dust, dirt and all that. Okay, so now I can now fold it, lining this edge of my straw board to that score line, like so, and then from the inside I'll just press in like so. Then bring my metal ruler. You can see the space here. Okay, this, so I'll just line my ruler to the box like so, and then from the box directly cut all the way down, and then turn again, line my ruler up just as we did here. That's the same thing I'm going to do here. Put my ruler inside at about 1/8 of an inch away from the box, cut, then with diagonal cut there. Okay, so now this that I did, okay, of course next is to fold this in. Okay, I'll peel this off and then gently from the outer parts like so, fold, gently crease it. Okay, I did not cut here. Now you see it cannot go, it's lying on top of the straw board, it's not going. Okay, so now what I will do is to bring back my backing tape, because I'm going to have to put the ruler to cut this side. Okay, if I didn't put the backing tape, the ruler will be holding onto the straw board, the cardstock rather. So at about 1/8 of an inch away from the board, I'll cut like so, and then from the edge have a diagonal cut there. Now I can peel this off now. Okay, now I can now fold it. You can see it went in easily. Okay, so I'll just crease this, lie down and fold in till it gets to the edge. Make sure it gets to the edge properly, before you now lie that down on the inside part. Okay, like so, and then crease the inside and crease the top. You can see how neatly laid this part is. Okay, so now just what I did here is what I'm going to do on the remaining 1, 2, 3 sides. No, I will do these 2 sides, and then when I get to this part, I'll get back to you at that point, show you how to finish it up. Okay, all right, welcome back. So this is what I've done so far. Okay, I've covered the 3 sides. Now this is the final side. What I'm going to do is lie this down, line it up, of course, to the edge. You can see the extra piece here, it's about 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to cut this completely off. So to do that, we can now remove this completely and then lie this down, pressing it in, pressing it down properly from the inside. Now bring my ruler, line it up to the box, and then from the top of the box, no longer from the edge, from the top of the box, I will cut all the way down. Okay, now you can see it took time for me to remove the ruler because this place is exposed. Okay, and if you pull it, you can affect this part, can cut it anyhow and then mess up the look. Okay, so I'll line this back and then trim that up completely. You can see it. So this we don't need. Okay, all right, now it's, you can see the edge, it's straight and neat. Okay, so now just finish the sides, line this up on both sides. Trim this, this. Now, something that I can do to make the folding easy, you take your bone folder and crease along the straw board like that. Okay, so now to fold easier. And then fold in. And then crease the top. Now this is the top or side. Now let's work on these pieces here. So I'll lie this down and then just crease along the straw board like so, which is also the score line, actually center part of the score line. Okay, fold, you can see it's folded easily like so. Okay, but that's what we're going to fold outward like that. Now you're going to use your scissors to cut. The way I'm going to cut, I'm not going to cut like this, no, but see where my scissors teeth is showing here. I will leave about 1/8 of an inch gap from the box. Instead of cutting like this, you can see the teeth of the scissors here. I will put space a little, about 1/8 of an inch. You can see the difference, right? From this to this, and then cut on all the 4 sides, the same thing, the same way. That's all. Okay, now I can now peel the backing tape one after the other or at the same time, and then fold this over and crease. I like doing opposite sides when it comes to this type of folding. That. And then doing this and fold. Okay, there we are. So this is the base. I'm going to cut another piece to cover this base now, so that I don't forget it, because most of the time I end up forgetting that I've not covered the base. So now let's measure. Let's take the measurements. Here now we have 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 and 11/16 of an inch, but I am going to cut at 5 and 5/8. That's 5 and 10/8 of an inch. I mean 5 and 10/16 of an inch. Okay, so which is also 5 and 5/8 of an inch. That's what I'm going to cut. 5 and 5/8 of an inch by, let's take this second side. This is 6 and 3/8 of an inch. So I'll minus 1/16 of an inch. That will give me 6 1/8. That's 6 2/16. Okay, so remember I said I'm going to cut out this cardstock that measures 5 5/8 by 6 1/8 of an inch, so it will fit inside perfectly well. Okay, so I'll do that, and then I'll apply my double-sided tape on that piece of cardstock, and I'll get back to you showing you how to cover it properly. Alright, welcome back. So now this is the cardstock I've already cut, and now if you look at this side, the double-sided tape is coming out a little. It's too small for me to cut off. Yes, I could have cut it off and wasted it, but I don't want to waste it. So when I'm peeling the backing tape off, I'm going to fold it over. Okay, so now also here, these are the 1/2 inch I had left, so I have to use them up first. Okay, so that's why you see them in bits like this. So now I'm going to start with this part. I'll peel this backing tape off first, and then turn and fold the excess one over like so. Like that. Now if you run your finger through, you don't feel any stickiness, even if you feel very little. Okay, so now, okay, obviously it is not like this, it's too big, so I'll turn my box. This is the part where I remove the double-sided tape. It's going to be the one I'm going to lie down last. Okay, because I need to be sure that it's well fitted inside and well covered. So I just fold it gently, carefully, and then lay it down carefully. Now I can crease. Now no matter what you do, this is how it's going to cover it. You can see it's well covered. Okay, so now I can now lift this and then remove the remaining backing tape, all of them. Okay, and the last small piece. Okay, just lie that down. That's all. So now with this, we have come to the end of the first section. Making this box is going to come in 3 parts. Okay, so we are done with the first part. Okay, this is the outside, this is the base. You can see the sides, it's well fitted. Now make sure that this side you crease properly. Okay, now you are wondering, what about the inside part? The inside part is what we are going to do next, which is the second part. Okay, so please watch out for the second part immediately after this tutorial. I'm going to upload it next. Okay, so just creasing this part. So now what we are going to do is this. There are going to be demarcations inside this. Okay, so now we are done with this, and see you in the next